Yes, over here, Mr. Tucker.
I'd just like to respond quickly to a number of the last speakers' representations which are inaccurate. It was the planning staff's analysis which determined that the footnote M dimensional change in the RG district needed to be changed. It was the planning staff's analysis of the residential districts and the potential increases in density that led to decreases in the lot and building coverage in those areas, working with the planning board. I'm not aware that town council was involved in any of that at that point. Hopefully we won't need to involve town council, but we can if we need to. A number of other issues. Ms. Greenie previously asked why there was...
Mr. Tucker, I believe he's answering a question that was stated by... Excuse me. No one interrupts when I'm talking. Is that clear? No point of order until I finish talking, please. When I'm talking, you need to listen to me, and then if you have a point of order, you can make it. But I will not be interrupted up here. Is that clear of everybody? Okay, do you have a point of order in the back there? Okay. I have ruled on your point of order that it is my opinion that he's answering a previously stated question. Okay, then you may make your point of order.
Hi, it's Rolf, Karlstrom, Precinct 10. I did think that it was inappropriate for Mr. Tucker to be answering any points that have come up in the past without being asked. And I noticed that these questions are always answered in a particular way. I think the point of order is we should be able to have as much time on the floor as without people on staff having the free rein to talk as long as they want about any comment from before.
Okay, let me answer that point of order. I made clear in my opening statements at the beginning of town meeting and a couple other times as well that I give a little leeway to town staff and committee members and petitioners, and I do tend to call on them more and give them more time. If that's a problem, then there's an election every spring and you can elect a different moderator. But that is my policy in town meeting. I hear another point of order in the front row. Wait for a microphone, please.
Mr. Tucker was saying in response to Ms. Greenie's question, there was no question from Ms. Greenie, and the town meeting rules say that only town meeting members are allowed to speak unless permission from the body is granted. I don't believe Mr. Tucker sought permission from the body to respond to Ms. Greenie's question. I don't think he's authorized to speak.
Okay, I rule that he is authorized to speak. Mr. Tucker, you may continue.
Hello. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Ms. Greenie asked sort of a rhetorical question. She was asking why the original 2005 zoning bylaw that addressed inclusionary zoning only in terms of special permit projects was still not holding. And the answer to that is that law changes over time. It changes through court cases. It changes through the practice of communities trying to exercise inclusionary zoning. We have worked with several consultants here, most notably Ms. Barrett, who spoke specifically to what has worked and what has not worked in Massachusetts communities. Part of Amherst's...
I hear a point of order. Wait for a microphone, please.
If the town planner...
Identify yourself, please.
Yeah, Vince O'Connor, Precinct 1. If the planning director claims that the law has changed, I want him to cite the law because I don't believe his statement is correct.
Okay. He gets to say what he wants to say, and he's not required to do what other people ask him to do here. You may continue, Mr. Tucker. I just want to say that is an example of something that is not a point of order. You can disagree with somebody, but it's not a point of order when you do. Mr. Tucker, you may continue.
Most recently, the planning board has worked with consultant Judy Barrett, who is probably the preeminent consultant in the state on inclusionary zoning, and part of what she provided the planning board and the staff with was perspectives on what has worked and what has not worked in other communities. Citizens have asked that the board address the problem of projects that were not special permit projects going forward without the provision of affordable units. That is what Article 22 was in very large part designed to address, with the assistance of Ms. Barrett, whose experience in other communities helped to inform that process.
Thank you.